Hello, Busiafo. I am Amankwah Eba, the Gawa Hour Jumedi so Midinitina Sarpong, the host of the Gawa Hour. Mpacho so Wabasoa. Now I share, now I tag you Ubi, invite you Ubi. Nakacha say, Yaba, the Gawa Hour Jumedi no, Yadi Esheso Sisia. Inti Momra, na Yametuchin Yapumudi Hong Komo, and ne enye Apumudi Hong Komo, and I babedi, and ne your topic for fro. So that me can, me say, Etoda, Yabe Ada matters, and then your health matters and matters and also a who here bebree nti frɛ wo nua na obi nso frɛ obi na obi nso frɛ obi na momra na ye metwetwe enkomo. You see the difference between renting or buying a home. So share the link and let's go. But also abasoa share link no within the Tina Sarpong, the host of the Gawa Hour. Once again, welcome to the Gawa Hour. We are going to be talking about the difference between renting or owning a home. So let's get the ball rolling. Pacho, we'll share link na yanko sisi ene yang guest Mr. Richard Amankwah oye real estate agent. Obecheche nneɛma mu empempre no sɛ wonya obi a ɔka ɔkasa ɔbɛkeka nneɛma ne bebree na wasan de confuse you na instead of sɛ ɔtɔn adepa ɛde ama wo no na ɛno nso ɔde bibi foforɔ ɛna ɛma wo ɛna yɛn brother wa ha nom sɛ ɔbɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn nneɛma mu nti no ɔse ɔka mese nti na asɛm bia a wo bia a wopɛ sɛ wo bisa bia no na wo de comment ato section na se honom na yɛ read ama wo penso na pese wo friend so a obetimi afrɛ me de number beto hɔ no mo a obetimi afrɛ na obisa wasɛm nti no ebusuafo mo share link no na yɛnkɔ na enche ye de nkomodie no ebetwetwe ebehyehyɛ so sisi a Mr. Amankwah ye mo akwa baba de Gawa Hour dwumadie so
yo etiefo ne maamitina enwumere de ye damasi bebree sɛ motumi atunsa afre say emra embeche emyen some pense we about renting and the difference between renting and buying. Enti said it in a D can meeting the Richard Amankwah, a real estate agent or New York State, licensed real estate agent or New York State. Nti enwumre mani je se mabaha menimba beche sansemi enti de edi kan
yo Mr. Amankwah ansa na no meje aboafo nkrato aba ansa na de dwumadie no ahyehye so dwumadie omo aso yasen ema ye de brem na watwe bia our cares organic mixture se upenku papa asra ama wo wede no atoso na ha kama se medie yi a eno ane our cares nku ye mama esan so ye mama owo enku a ye de sra yanim ena ye what de desra ye nipadua no nti nkoma woni arcase bedi no ena obehwe so no waye hunku ama me de me frɛ arcase nku no customize nku ohwe already na hu se nku we na beje se wo ye kokɔ a oma nku a ebe ma wo kokɔ no atoso na ha kama ena wo ye tuntum te se me nso a oma wo nku a ebe ma wo tuntum no so emu atoso na ha arcase nku empopɔ ema already no etoso kama sama yi bebe yi arcase say let your skin do the talking into no for our case. 917-836-3155 917-836-3155 into no inkuno na American farmer no enye enkunku anso na wo san wo body gels so san wo scrubs or enema bebree into say wo frɛ na enema e wo ho nyina no obeda na di e de akyerɛw de eye de wo mu ne say wo order sese a obetu card de abrɛ wo sese a anasa ba bia wo bia no obemeli e de abrɛ into our case organic mixtures or say let your skin do the talking. Omo na so ya sen ema ye de dwumadi a ye frɛ no the Gawa Hour ebremo na wachi bia me de aseda kese ema the executive producer and also the CEO of Edinkra Radio, Mr. Patrick Adolfo, and I said na hotedin edit DJ Jam open tema with your friend DJ Jam obeje wo so enti ebusiafo mo share dwumadi no na yenko se waba so na wa share na we invite na afofro so aba na ma be tietie bi nti and I said me kan no ene enye health talk and it's about real estate nti no ye nua bema Mr. Richard Amankwah obekyerɛkyerɛ yensem bebree mu ama yehu ebia na pese wutofie nanso wonni ho nimdie bi anase wonnim ba bi a obehya ase wa eno nti na ye nua bema owo honom owo ha ene se obekyeche yemu nti no se wo pe efie ato a ene Mr. Amankwah se ka wakoma to yem obebiebie nsem ani abekyerekye nsem mu ama wahu nti no ye be hyehye so sese ya afei omo a omo asan aso ya sibiem ama ye di dwumadie bremo helping hands heart se wato baha anase wo beda na wo soso da ye basabasa anase obeso da ye na obi tata wo anase sebi obi ni wo da wo namu a helping hands heart so omo wa hanom so mbe boa wo wa fi sa amane ne wo ha wo nyina mu enti frɛ wo mo 347 796 747 for helping hands heart na enomuni enkomo na omo beboa wo hunhum ene hunamu bibia ekoso wo hunhum bia no omo wo honom edema Mr. Amankwah yamakwa ba eba de gawa awajumadi ne so.
Yo, thank you so much, Mamitina.
Yo,
etiefo ebion manage be brace me to me abaha ene na misremo ase me de puto kasa kakra efra bibia meka no mebo modin akire mu nti ebia terms bi ho na mentumi nkire na se ewo ye santi kasa no mu ana modi akire me kakra ba mebo modin se beka me ye bibia wa santi nti Mamitina yo eni etifo besha se no beka say renting and buying.
me pacho answer na be sha ase no be timi amaye wo ho abakosem kakra na so be ni be ka say history kakra be bia wo sha ase wo answer na ne wa be real estate agent here wo be church mu wo be bie yani ana so be bie adwen mu efa ekwan a wo betimi afa so wo pe fie ato a anamo esese wutuo ene bibisa na
Yo, mami me da si be bre. I'm say 2000 since 2008 na me shas ye real estate na eno de that time na me nyanye license but me no na me investing on my own ti me ana me di misika etuto ebi na me invest in na bi beka se me di rent enkrofo na chese eboa kakra na ebi meka say me go school ewo John Jay University but eno me call for computer science nti eno me da so e de ye adwuma but real estate de eye baby a eye say obi abomodin na otumi eye bi nti na e manage say mbeka between renting and buying eye baby a say otumi de usika ekoho kakra ebeboa eye investing ebeboa wodachi bebre nti since 2008 now I started a real estate but on the investing side nti about 2 years ago now I started some person me agent because there are other benefits so we agent and my own nyoma bebre nti I became licensed menya New York State ama me hukrata se me tumi eton dan anase me di obi anim emaneto dan in the whole of New York State. I can represent any seller or buyer to buy real estate or invest in real estate. New York State. That's.
Oh, okay. You and that's Mr. Amankwah. Intino say what is the difference between renting or buying a home?
The difference between renting and buying is that when you rent, you see a place that you are interested in, then you take whatever amount they are requesting. And they say, oh, ko hwehwɛ dan a woko tua atena mu enye de wo to a ene dan bi a say yemfa ne say opet ene me de 3 bedroom na be ye nsusu ho say opet 3 bedroom a rent a obekwa akɔhwɛ edan no say wani gye ho a efiewura no ebeka say ohia 1 month security ebi say kra de ebi gye 2 months security.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Na what's a real estate agent or do call and bit you or no sneaker. Ben so be 1 month. Na feel what year 1 month rent. Into be we are saying a 4 times the amount of rent and your initial investment. Now, after you to rent, you pay 1 month security, sometimes 2 months, and then the monthly rent itself, and then you pay the agent also. Now, you can rent for so many years, for 30 years. When it's time for you to move on, you do not have anything. The only thing you have is the stuff you brought into the
Your
apartment.
belongings.
Your belongings.
Okay.
As Jenny said, wo rent here. Busumi bi a obetua ɛdan ne ka. Sɛ wotena mu yɛmfa ne sɛ mfie aduasa na mmerɛ so sɛ wutu a deɛ agyapade a wowɔ ne sɛ nneɛma a wobɛ renti dan no wotɔe ɛbaa mu. Ɛno nko ara na wotumi de kɔ. Deɛ aka biara no ɛnyɛ wo dea. Wo nneɛma a wode baa nko ara na wode kɔ. Now, one advantage ɛwɔ renting mu ne sɛ o renti ɛdan na biribi ɛsɛe wɔ ho a ɛno ɛnyɛ wo ka ɛyɛ efiewura ɛna ɛyɛ n'asɛdeɛ. Nti
your friend management no.
Anaa building management no ɛna ɛbɛyɛ no. Ɛno nko ara ne so far the advantage anaasɛ ebi a sɛbi w'adwuma a woyɛ no sika a wogye no ebi ɛno na ɛbɛso for now a ɛneɛ then you don't have a choice, you have to rent. And no any advantage. That's the only advantage that I can come up with in renting. Now, say eba say wo ba beto efie dia, there is so many advantages. Enti the edi kind, I hope say etie for mu hu a. Say o renti yɛmfa say 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom apartment with 2 baths. Say we share Bronx and then $3,500 a month. And she said o renti a month for 1 year, 1 year for 30 years o be spending 1.26000 to $1.2 million. So rent it 3-bedroom, 2 bath for 30 years. Men kaso niska uska because this is after 30 years. This is what you have spent, but you don't have anything to prove it. When it's time for you to leave, you just grab your stuff and you are out. That is how much you will spend. Now, say ebase opese utofia. There are so many advantages. When you want to buy a house now, there are so many advantages. In the sense, say, uto efia, enye wonkwa usika ena wode to. Most of the time, wankasa wonhyeda enyi sika ni mu kese. And as I say, so there, because of FHA, Federal Housing Administration, ama mortgage policies, we a first time home buyer, obi a woto fie fufura. To me amount set for only 3.5% and a beto asia. It is all the ubeto fie now the 3.5% and a beto asia. That means the bigger part, which is 96.5%, no, a ubisika and a would you kwakoto. But se wo rented there, obi anywho a busumi obeka cho say or mouse can be now the tia rent. That will never happen. Okay. But se wo to there, right up front you can qualify for 3.5% down payment. In that case, the 96.5% is coming from, if you qualify for FHA loan, from the other people's money or from the government. And no na na me pese ye pensen mu yie. Matro enyoma kakra wa ha. I'm hoping say utumi ehu say enye we are metumi try na matro on a different sheet and so
Okay.
said we'll go step by step. Okay. Enti the edi kan no ene ya me hwe edan two family ewo Bronx ha 2826 Pond Avenue ewo Bronx. Two family three bedrooms 2 bath ewo soro and asie nso 3 bedroom 2 bath. And a bion esawo basement nso finished. Inti manfa basement no crampo anka ho. Na a 90 price and $850,000.
Our Bronx, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Inti obi beka se nebo no ewo anim. Yampa nanso ti ase se o qualify for FHA mortgage or loan what the only 3.5% of this amount and a bet to us as your down payment. Na fe wape closing cost and so kakra aka ho. Enti the me try no say a dine here 850.
But your by Mike and kakra my.
Yo, $850,000. And he said, "O calculate 3.5%. I would to down payment. And no, echo see 25,500. $25,500 into your 850,000 no so qualify for FHR the SO would to us here 25,500 na winya enu area na afe wape closing cost into closing cost no so yemfa ne say no so be kwa akoye probably about the same amount, another 25,000. Now, no, there are other programs around. Say, to me, that closing cost now, ube to me the account a dino original price no. Into you bet me the account purchasing price no. Not just say what you are no kakra. Into say a dime 850,000. Now the down payment 25,500 and our to us here. Then na a dime na aka will be pay mortgage ewo hono 824,500. Na eno say oye eno ho mi wo yeduma mi enti mi wo mortgage calculator ewo ha. Enti say me hwe 824,000 1,500. Na me ye interest 30-year mortgage term. Na me ye percentage no yemfa ne say 7%. Monthly wo mortgage so tua 5,485 and 40 cents. And only wo monthly the utia.
Okay.
Now
With the $5,000 mortgage, no.
$824,000 mortgage, no.
Okay.
Well, monthly payments $5,485.
Me pacho no insurance ka ho ana say afi na obetua insurance.
The insurance ba be ka.
Okay.
And then we share na the insurance 5,200 Bronx ha.
For the whole year and I said
yes, for the whole year.
Okay.
For the whole year na 5,200. Say we divide 5,200 no by 12 your monthly payment $433. And yeah, for insurance. Now no, sorry, I knew taxes. Taxes na 5,200. Any taxes. Insurance big kwako ye bibi to say $3,000. And yeah, commercial. But insurance be around $3,000. And so divided 3,000 no by 12. It could see $250. $250. Now, auto because waje ska kese efi bank ne ho nti no bank no pese omunya insurance on ska no said e be ya service we ntua omo so betumi nyom sika back. Because you are borrowing that huge amount from the bank, they want you to put an insurance which is called PMI, prime a mortgage insurance on the amount they are giving to you. So the PMI, if you calculate it for 850,000, it comes to about the PMI comes to, let's take it about $600 a month. Yeah, the PMI comes to about let's take it about $600 a month. So for your total monthly cost, it is going to be for purchasing the house. Yeah, bet I did figures way in idea from mortgage only at $5,485. Then with taxes $433 per month. Now for insurance and so yeah about $250 per month. Now for PMI no you find say about $600 per month. And he said, oh I did way na. Me I didn't see na. Bet me I with the right amount no. It's 5485 plus 433 plus 250 plus 600. And you could see 6,768. It is 6,768 for the month for paying the mortgage for that property.
Okay.
Which is, remember, I say 2 family. It's 2 family with 3 bedrooms, 2 bath up, and 3 bedrooms, 2 bath down.
Wow.
And the basement might have, I'm trying to say 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So, out of this $678, if you also rent one of the 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, automatically you are getting $3,500 off this amount. Then if you rent the basement, because it's basement, let's take it you rent it for like $2,000. It's 2 bedroom, 1 bath. So you rent it for $2,000. Then 2,000 plus 3,500, that is 5,500. And out of the $6,768, and you make 5,500, because that is how much the other two units are bringing income to you. Because we'll rent the other 2 units, nunti. Ebema sa 5,500 no. Nti wo dia ubetia ankasa a month out of your pocket will be $1,268 per month. Nti say one auto diner where you just the upfront advantages. After the year calculate after 30 years. Now we will talk about also the tax benefits and also the appreciation of the house itself. So right now, this is where we are at. $1,268 per month will be your out-of-pocket expense if you were to opt to apply for a loan to buy a house. Remember, if you were renting, you can't tell the owner, I want to pay less. No. What we wrote earlier for that 1.26 million, no, we did not even include the increase in rent, because this is New York State. Rent never stays the same. Every year it is going to increase. So we did not even calculate or include the percentage of increase year per year. No matter how small, it will still make a dent. So our rent payment, yam fan shame afibia if you ra ebeto rent nimu. Yam fa numpo anka ho. Nti we 1.2 million no, definitely ebeko soro. So rent here, you end up paying more. Okay.
Yo, mpacho me obi ewo asem bisa ewo ha no moma o say are the down payments assistance programs available in New York? The first question. And the second question is when they say difference between FHA and conventional loans.
Okay. Me that's be brave. Yes, there are some down payment assistance programs still in New York State. So that even makes it better. What that means is you might end up getting a house for almost you not putting next to nothing out of your own money. What you have to do though is make sure your credit is good to be able to qualify for those programs. The American United say yampa New York State programs bia se wuni down payment na maboso na omu betumi aboa with that amount. Na the here pa ne say so make sure say we credit score because so omu enim say ye boa with down payment e chere say one kasa one fa osika bia ankom kese. Enti no e say make sure say at least we credit the e chere say ye ma say scan one ubetumi etua. What this means, they say, Senka FHA would only 3.5% at to hono. Ubetumi anya program on beka say we will cover your down payment. That means one first bian point to ho. Inti almost 100% ni nyina no. You be sika and a wo kwaje. But the here say so prove say we credit score say utumi tua wo bills. Said a beya who say okay yeah discount mawa enya dia obet na mu 2 years na afi obeka se wuntu ebio.
Okay.
Nampacho what second question no. Oh, second question was what's the difference between FHA and conventional loans?
Yes.
FHA loan and the lowest down payment percentage. Conventional loan say most of them might require say would they at least 5 to 10% and a bit too hard. It can vary depending on the mortgage company will be dealing with, no. they can ask anywhere from 5 to 10%. But FHA backed mortgage and unkwana that lower down payment requirements, any 3.5%.
Yo, me facho Mr. Dan Opoku. Say you are no. Na answer ya beto aso no meji abo afọ krato e de aba. Ewusia for se ope sika mane a ehun ni asem sika mane a wo ye ya partial na akọ se mobile account mu anase wallet mu anase even bank account mu a eno ane lolly cash. Eno ane se obe download wo Google Play anase App Store. Wo download lolly cash a se ya na omo atwa watum. Wo first transaction o maybe sell for promo code. Your promo code no edinkra ADINKRA. We ya ubenya bonus into no obi an download lolly cash omu rate no was soro echen rate bia a mehu app ni bi ho no wo download a wo ye kra na enko ebe ha wadwen sa we dia wo ye ya partial na edemu into download lolly cash na omu rate no was soro so dem kan no promo code no edinkra unya boy edinkra di shemu sese ya omu ebe ma bonus afi na me ka mo say nyame adoma July 5th all white boat ride edinkra for see anigye ho nsem ehia omo enti no mo so omo de hyehyeye egu akwan mu say afi biara sama eba omo be ma yen akwakwagye yani enti all white boat ride no eba so ticket no early bird no aba single $80 and couples $150. Into no se open ticket ni bi ato obetimi afre MCOG and I said DJ Gem and I offer me so we ticket ni bi ato and I feel so we the 10th edition into no ade bi ayaya ne pore 10 na chese enye asem ketwa opemu nankasa into no say ye weekend si enye stable eto dada we into na omudi date no aba entemo no into no say we wo adwuma ye ekosada na wutimi ede wo personal day tum sick day tum na enyina yakwa cruise ede abom say dey na me manager eka MCOG or see cruise versary into your kwakoji yani July 5th nyame ado July 4th Independence Day ayenyina nim say holiday into ade achi a ye party anase picnic bi a ade achi na asan akosisi ye ho so wo all white boat cruise said ebe kan no afi we say ebe edutwam ebe tatashe enema bebre ena ede egu akwam a ye de ko boat ride ebusia say afi na waba so a na meka wo say the gawa our dwumadie no ena wasugusu a utie no ena ye ne Mr. Richard Amankwa ena etwetwe nkobo ye real estate agent ena obecheche mu o cheche ye kwan a ope efie ato anase se wote apartment mu a obetimi atofie se de be ya dachi bi no ebia na pese utuko Ghana investment e de mawara nti eno ho komo e na ye di so wasem bisa utimi e de to comment section ho no mo na wabisa wasem na mefa akwanya we say so achia adofo ne abusuafo a ewo so Mr. Dan Opoku o so a o sheye sister Juliana Queen or say hi daddy is Christy. Hello Christy, thanks for joining. Mr. Ernest Kwame Asare also was so sharing. Mr. Prince Abe also Mr. John Oten also sharing. Mr. Frank Sarpong also good job, I like the program. Mame Crunchy also sharing and ebusia for Miss Edith Davis and so was so Moshe. In this summer was a Miss Bia with me edit to comment session. I say now we be ourselves. Now I know ye be arise to say you know, not ye you. Into ye bet to us no. Na Mr. Amankwah na me bisa say pese uto efia, do you need a lot of money to put down as a down payment? Because me say no eno na ya na ebo mi hu because starting na we can say we be here down payment and a closing cost. What is the difference between the down payment and the closing cost no?
Thank you. Me da wasi bebre ni wasi mbisa. The difference between down payment and the closing cost and say down payment no ye bibia bank no epese omuhu se wonso hu akomu kakra ebi se bi empem bebre ni se obi amfa ni sika anye bibia eya mpenfo si wonhwe so yi enti bank no so pese wonso wo hu komu kakra ebi se omu no omu disika no emu kɛseɛ ɛbɛma wo. Nti wotumi ɛkyerɛ sɛ wowɔ wotumi ɛhyɛ wo ho so etumi esave wo sika kakra, then ɔmbɛtumi atra still with a bigger amount. If you can show to the bank that you can save, that then you are telling them they can trust you with the bigger part of their money. So you are telling somebody, give me some money for me to buy a house. Then the person is like, okay, what can you show that you are responsible? How can you show me that you are responsible? Then you tell them, okay, I have this amount that I'm going to also put of my own that I'm going to put towards this purchase. That shows that, okay, you are responsible, you are interested, and you will be responsible for the rest of the payments. Then closing costs. And they say bank no ebeye nhwehwemu. The bank will look into the building. They have what is called title search to make sure that the property is owned solely by the person selling it. That's number one. Number two, they will make sure that the property does not have any liens against it. Liens mean probably you hired a plumber and you didn't pay them.
Okay.
Then they can put a lien on it. As the Chinese say, a lien they mean to mean ni tree, but the etienne say be a wahai carpenter bi so me ye adwuma e wo fie ma. Na wo ye adwuma ni wie ye wantua ne car. Na se mmerɛ so sɛ wopɛ sɛ wotɔn a carpenter ni no etumi ɛde ye friend lien ɛkɔto dan ne so sɛ wantua ne car ɔde kɔto ɛwɔ housing department. Enti ɛda dan no so nti mmerɛ bi a wobɛpɛ sɛ wotɔn dan no obi ɛkɔyɛ title search na ɛbɛ show up. That means ɛyɛ sɛ wotua saa onipa korɔ ne ka no bank ehu a ɔmo ma wontɔ saa dan because ɔmo ma sika ma wotɔ dan no ɔmo hu ɛbɛkɔ akɔdim. So onipa korɔ no ba sɛ ɔbɛgye ne sika a ɛdan no abɛdi wɔn nsa nti ɛyɛ sɛ wo na wotua. Enti ɛno yɛ one of the things a wobɛtua sika as closing cost. And again, koye closing, wotɔ dan a wobɛhia lawyer, obi a obedi w'anim ahwehwɛ bibia, making sure sɛ mmara kwan mu no you are getting the best for your money. Bank no nso ɛbɛwɔ lawyer, ɛnso ɔno nso bɛhwehwɛ mu a making sure sɛ bibia ɛwɔ ne kwan so. Wotɔ dan no wie sɛ file it with the city. Ɛyɛ sɛ court to register the deed. Ni nyinaa ɛyɛ sɛ lawyers edi hu akotene ɛna ɛsɛ woyɛ maka title search na ɛsɛ woyɛ baby wɔ hɔ ɛsɛ woyɛ flooding wohwɛ sɛ dan no ensi nsuo mu a ti ni nyinaa no ɛno ɛka part of the closing cost no na lawyer wobɛfa no wobɛtua ne ka na bank no nso ɔmo paperwork nso a ɔbɛyɛ no nso wobɛtua ka nti ɛno na ɛkɔyɛ closing cost no.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Mame Crunchy say, I want to buy a house in a different state. Are we able to have a conversation to ask a few questions about it? Okay, Mame Crunchy.
Yes. But maybe I'll be to me and I'm a number no from me, to me a casa. Yeah, be to me.
You. Ebusia for me pacho so wasem bisa utimi e to comment section no ase na ye you are no and that topic na e very very important. Say wo betena apartment mu na watua sika bebrebe busumi bia every year every 2 years bia no na ye to mu be sign lease na ye to mu but na ye nua be ma say obechehwe ye mu say instead of say utua obi dan ka na every year every 2 years bia o tum no wanso utimi todan no na wanso utimi di bi ma han wanso utimi ye landlord ni bi na wanso wuji sesika na ekoba ne se utu akọ back to Ghana ebi oho no ye mu bi oho no ma wunya sika bum ne se wo de ekọ utimi ton efie no it's a form of investment utimi ton efie no na watimi enya sika kakra e de ekita e de akọ ana se utimi krampo e de ye ejapade e de ma wo ma nti eno ho nkomo e na ye twetwe no Mr. Dan Opoku say, what are FHA qualifications?
Okay, FHA qualifications no any say omo de aban no ayɛ nhyehyɛe bi sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ obi a wopɛ sɛ wotɔ dan bia no wotumi ɛtɔ nti FHA no ɛno ɛboa ma sɛbi ɔmo a ɔmo adwuma no akatua no ɛnhyɛ da ɛnnɔɔso ɛno nti na ɔmo ɛka sɛ yɛpɛ only 3.5% down payment no nti ɛyɛ different from state to state nti ebi wɔ hɔnom a ɛyɛ sɛ umeki at least probably $60,000 per year. Ɛyɛ different from state to state. Nti sɛ w'ani wayɛ crowd so pɛ sɛ wotɔ dan woba ne yɛtena ase a yɛbɛtumi a go through wo income statement and then we'll be able to check and make sure say you if you want FHA loan to make sure say you qualify for it. So they have other things. Your income is one of the qualifications. The amount of money that you make.
Yeah, low income na yes, your person you to feel no. In say bi wo no so anso de mayen na low income for na na say as I say would obi a co-sign ansa na wetimi qualify for a loan.
Obi a situation different. And it's all say low income. So obani etnas ni ehwe ni ehu how low your income is. There are other programs. Obi edi kan busa question. There are other programs that also help with the down payment. So you might be low income, but if your credit history is good, you can come, we sit and we talk. We can see if there are programs that you will qualify for. So being low income does not preclude you from trying to, explore the options of owning a house. So usika wodi fie no eswa. There are programs omutumi tia skani bi emao. Nti uba ne yetna se ne yehwe nneoma mu yi a yebetumi ahwe ebi a program bi ebetumi aboa ekwan bi so ama won so watumi ato dan ni bi.
Okay, but now we credit score ho asem. How ranges credits no ranges from a hint to a hint na ma hu say credit no eye ana say ese say onya obi de attach.
Meka say wo pay the lowest down payment ope FHA a very good idea say wo credit ebeye meka say if 650 and above.
Okay.
But so benya 700 and above mpoa and there is you getting better. Until the better your credit score is, the better your chances. Until let's rate for so open so to down within the next year or two shall see a nebo modern yes o credit ho adwuma ebeboa bebre.
Yo, ebusiafo na meka mo say the gawa awajumadi no e na wasugusu a otie no. Ebusia se wo ko Ghana na wo pese wo kodu yehu se boga walande a mekanfo charisma auto group e de amount. Ka bia wo pese utwi bia no wokɔ Ghana ubenya bi ato se wo pɛ chauffeur services so a mo drivers so hono ma on be drive around and as say one so wo pɛ se wo driver eno so akwanya e wo hono mo eno ane se wo be frɛ charisma auto group na omo ama your friend say omo ama car papa adam ama hu se boga wo na wo be ni information no etwa gusu e wo screen no so car bia say ye Benz say ye Toyota say ye van say ye minivans and as SUVs car bia wo pɛ bia charisma auto group say frɛ omo na omo ne wo ebe twetwe enkomo nti omo number a e wo Ghana wo betua make arrangements and sa na kwa kodu Ghana no e +233 3022448114. Charisma Auto Group say frɛ omo na omo be ma o car papa Adam. Ebeye ahomete anase be yanwa se boga wakwakodu Ghana na wakoko pre trotro ho anase wo be free Uber driver ka wo be fa unnim ba bia wo de wo ko anase ebi mo krampo no wo be hu ana omo eni nkofo etwetwe nkomo na wutira anye ya be robo nti charisma auto group se bra na ombe ma oka papa adamu nti no number no na me de atu dwa no se watoba ha wo be so da ye basa wo be so da ye na obi ne wo da ebi okada de kwa be so kana o refi me can for helping hands heart at the amount bibia ekoso spiritually bia no almost say frɛ wo 347 796 747 ofrɛ omo a omo bɛboa wo sunsum nnwuma mu ani bibiara a ekoso ɛwɔ honhom mu a ekotia wo sɛ ebia wo bɛyɛ adwuma nso sika entna wo nsɛm helping hands heart say omo de omo bɛboa wo honhom ayi sada dwen nyina afi so afei sɛ wo pɛ cable ubenya all the channels. It's about 280 channels. Me used to be into American for the amount no. And no one say obefre DJ Jam, ufre DJ Jam obema cable. If you are na oji cable no, na ope extra a ye the account one, ye charge you extra. Me a very huge soccer fan. Into all the soccer is a Honda Michelle BN Sports, like all the soccer. La Liga, Spanish channels say your boss or can add in na ewo honom nti say ofre DJ Jam ewo 347 wait me afre DJ Jam ewo 347 350 1857 ofre na ehun hia kra so be fie u TV no smart TV a obe install bibia e de amount a lot of channels, movie channels, Anchor, BET, you name it, Food Network, bibi biara a upe ashe biano e was a digit box on so inti free 347 350 na the air de woman say is $10 a month. Inti the no one say obe free na waje wo de instead of so be tua sika bebre e de ma cable company DJ Jam say free no na obete so amount e no one say ofra channel bia wa upe bia say Ghana channels e busia me used to be internet American for e de amawi say Ghana channels all you need is internet eni ubie sese ya o pese o share program is sese ya okoso a okọ edinkra digit box ne so number 1 channel 1 a ubenya program yi ahwe sese ya nti sei enete nti ofre DJ Jam number na me tu dwa na obeboa aye asset up bibia amount nkola channels nyina eka ho nti ne no an se obefre na wakwa akwaje wo de afi se de mekan no all white boat cruise no baso uji si a friend cruise versary afi said the mekan no ebeye tatashe ebeye edutwam se wonko obi da okwa wa obehu se the making enu nti last year na ebo no ewosoro but almost for the 10th edition there almost tete bo no so ma you say shi nti no se oye singular $80 and na oye couple $150 umpe we na opede mini amema no monto ticket na monfa mo yere no enko cruise versary yibi eni ama no so mutimi tobi ema mukun no ne nyina yakwa akwaji ye ni abum July 5th all white boat ride edin crafo say ye juma bre e wo krom ha bebre nti no ama stress no so ompeso mi stress ni bi efi ye nso eno nti e no mo ahye boat ride e de ama ye afibia na we the 10th edition na ye no nti upe ticket ni bia early bird ticket ni eno ana so be 347 350 347 350 and also over 929 331 8560 and also bet me for MCOG and I say DJ Jam offer me so obenya ticket ni bi ato na me ka mo say the gawa our jumedie no na wasugusu utie no ananka ye nkomo ye twetwe no health issues but essence jumedi no enye health nkwanti no ene real estate ho nkomo na ye twetwe ye ni yenua bema Mr. Richard Amankwah na twetwe nkomo ye real estate agent na o cheche ensem eni so sister Jenny Abe or say good job and Mr. Peter Amankwah say good job bro inti ebusuafo say o question na utimi edit to ase hono mo na ye bisa ma obi say What is the STAR program? How is eligible for it? The STAR program. Now, your sister Edith will say, how about someone with credit score 500 to 550?
Okay. Star program no. Ɛno yɛ program bi a ɛma reduction sɛ wato efie awie a. Baabi te sɛ Westchester. Wonya star program no sɛ wowɔ nkwaraa ɛwɔ school. Wowɔ nkwaraa wɔ school a ɔmo wɔ amount a yɛde ma wo.
But your STAR program require there.
An assistance program that reduces, it's like a tax benefit that you get at the end of the year towards, because you own real estate.
Okay.
Say or rent here, you don't get no STAR program. It's a benefit that comes with owning a house. When you buy a house, Westchester, I think it's about $1,200 every year. And the city, no, ever different amount, or more edebe amount. And the when we BBA say, what to dine you know, at the end of the year, your taxes are, your tax consultant will be able to help identify what you qualify for. On that note, no, there are so many tax benefits you gain because you own a house. And your bubo also say obetiano, it be a primary mortgage insurance, any interest on the loan amount, no, at the end of the year, and no be out to me claim on your taxes. And no your tax no be to me explaining well. But me a rough estimate. Sad tax for the loan you can who has some 850,000 no.
The comments is
after 30 years no. Na say state federal with depending on federal income tax rates no. Say would year and number 22%. Maybe a state tax New York about 8%. And your tax benefit for the UTI, you know, at the end of the year, no, a be about $8,000, give or take. But with tax professional, or no, your taxes will be to me calculating in a year amount. And the emphasis say when you start tax benefits for $8,000 back. Now the STAR program so I become one. Ni nyinaa yɛhwɛ after 30 years ɛno nko ara no $240,000 ɛna wobɛtumi asave. But sɛ wo rent a after 30 years no, you don't have that kind of savings. You haven't saved that. You can't show anything for it. Then ebi nso wo de yɛhyɛ ase yɛka sɛ sɛ wo use down payment for 3.5%. Sɛ sika na 3.5% you calculate it was 25,500. So the says cano echo twice year. One to says caningu because we multiply no after 30 years says cano acquire nim to the tune of $765,000. But Nijinano said one wo rent here. You didn't put that money down anywhere. Until they are spending now, you are still spending. You don't have anything to show for it. Now, you finally say after 30 years, what year a dining car every year? Say, what's not dining for the next 10 years, sir? Ube koso wo rent here, ube koso for another 10 years. That's another $360,000 because you multiply 3,000 by 12 months times 10 years. We say to you another $360,000. And for 40 years, no, this is the amount I will rent here. Ubetia. Ebekwa who I did 1.2 with 360. Ebekwa could see 1.620. And was spending $1.6 million and the DHR rent. So one to dan for 40 years. So it's canon was spending. Umpo. Actually, ebe brumpo if say safi bia fiora etu ne dan mu kakra eno ya mfa nka ho we are calculating this based on steady amount of $3,500 a month. Steady say if you run to more and I'll be tiasa amount. But if you run to more ebe kosoro and you will not have anything to show for after 40 years. Now, say we are just a little bit of calculation. Enye ni nyina nie. We ni amount ube save. So we invest here. We mortgage. Yamfa the other taxes ni we no anka ho. If say eno de ebe kwa aban ho. But the wo tia kasa principal no after 30 years I wait to your mortgage na wie. Yamfa say o say atena dan mu for 10 years bion say any amount ubesa save because say in what your mortgage na wie it is amount yi so cost so the to banker the ube save ni utia 5,000 way towards while the 200 after 10 years no utimi save over $500,000. It is so only a dan it keeps increasing.
Okay.
We crampo yanka a dan no appreciation say basa wo ba beton a dan out on 850 no. In 30 years, one ton I'll be close to $2 million.
And your friend appraisal no?
Appreciation.
Okay.
A diner appreciate it. It is on by appraisal now and on by cancer value natural.
All right. Dear sister Francisca Njoku, or say, do you advise that one pay off the mortgage or keep it because of the interest of the interest you get during tax period?
Okay. Answer may answer. I will say it depends on what your plan is. And for the next 20 years, what is your plan? Where it's tailored individually. So it's not a yes or no answer. But say me know what's number who say this is your plan for the next 10 years.
Can you please explain this in English because she doesn't speak Tree. So if you
no
can
problem.
let the explanation be in English.
Yo, dear Etienne say weye enye echa ebeko bia esono ejina said ye wo pese wo ye wabrabo in the next 10 years eda wanim de wo pese wo ye say bia wo pese wo fi ha na wo ko Ghana ene meka say wo betumi aye ne sa ba say bia wo hanom na wo pese wo tena ha wo nya nko ye de a meka say no so obane yet na se ya betumi asese ni ahwe de ebeboa na ya fasa akwan so
English because she doesn't speak Chi, so whatever you explain
okay.
she's not gonna
all right. So all that I said was it's not one hat fits all. If your intention depends on what your plan is for the next 10 years. So if you come we sit, we can talk about it and then see what your plans are. Then we can advise on what step to take. If you intend to go back home in like the next 10 years, then it will help if you want to pay it off. But if you want to stay, then you can probably, use the money towards something else. So we can sit and talk depending on what your plan is.
Okay, there is another question here. It's from Mr. Thomas Jemfi Mensa. Or say, hey, Rich, good job. Deacon Thomas here. Do you have to refinance before you get rid of the PMI, or you can use the equity to get rid of it?
It depends on you. You can use the equity to get rid of the PMI. But if you have equity in it, because, okay, when you are paying, the more you continue to pay, the lower the PMI becomes. PMI, is the primary mortgage insurance on it.
Okay.
That is because you put down only 3.5%, and the bank wants to make sure their money is safe, so they charge you upfront. So the bank giving you 96.5%, they want to secure their money. As you keep paying over the years, the PMI amount keeps going down. So I will not advise you to refinance to pay that off, in the sense that if you refinance, there are other costs that you incur. You have to pay for the closing costs, which might not be, if you calculate it, it might not really be worth it. So I will advise you, it's better if you can come, we can sit down and then calculate and see which one will work in your best interest. The mekai nyina ne say obekwa akɔgye another loan, so the bitua first interest no ejina wo situation so, because unya eto dan na emfitiase no na PMI no ebo no wosoro, as wo kɔ utua na PMI no kɔ from esote, enti se oba be refinance wo kɔgye a different loan, so the bitua PMI no nko a eno loan bi abeji bi abetua closing cost, any other cost, enti it might not be bia enye bibia ebe save ska kese, enti meka se oba na yetna se a yebetumi a calculate ni mienu nyina na yahwe de ebeboa. Thank you.
Okay, Mpacho, another question, Mr. Dan Opoku, or say, is FHA only for first-time buyers, Anna?
FHA was supposed to be for first-time home buyers, but there are ways that some people are able to get around it. I think there are programs, and ways that we have to sit and talk and know your situation. So, obi eto edan after a while, maybe waton edan ni dimu bion. I think after a certain number of years, one might be able to qualify for it. Okay. But we have to sit down and talk and see what your individual situation is. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Peter Amankwah, say, can you negotiate with your mortgage company for a lesser interest rate without refinancing mortgage, Nana?
It depends on the situation and the bank. The bank wants money all the time. But if you have good terms with your bank and you explain your situation to them and they think they will be able to accommodate you, some smaller banks, those community banks, sometimes some of them do that. So it's not always that you have to refinance. But if the bank is not willing, then refinancing will be your only option.
Okay. For Nameka said the Gawa our Jumedi no and our Sugusu uti and I said Oshayeno. Jumedi ubetimi Ashayan YouTube Edinkra Edikra Multimedia NY ubetimi so assign Asha wo ye Digibox ne so channel 1 afen so ubetimi so assign Asha ewo Edinkra www.edinkraradio.com your website no utimi ehwe no wo so me pacho when you na ye kike no. What about condo any co-op ni co-op no say we say utopia we go through this same process ni so and I say condo ni co-op so kwan enam ne kwan ko.
Okay, first of all, co-op no any say eno de uto co-op it say the wato say be beka say shares.
Okay,
we discuss and akwa to us here.
To your shareholder keke.
We a shareholder. You
okay.
Don't own it.
Own it.
Auntie say wotena mu for 10 years na emre so pese utua. Usika na wade ko to ase no. E na co-op beside usika amount. Condo de it said de wo to edan no. But enye wo nko na wo dan. Eye dan because a apartment building now we talk one apartment within that building. Into it said what all dying. The advantages of a condo ni say snow to a na abeti condo no more management on be yes in san your money na. Into condo no to apply it goes through the same process. If you require a loan and also you need to get the loan going through a bank or through a mortgage broker. And see, condo no, in a way, it's like just buying, a house, a total house.
Okay. Yo, ebusiafo me pacho se o asembisa bi a utimi e de wasembisa eto comment section no ase na ye yiwa no. Jumedie Arcas organic mixtures na aso yasen e ma ye de brew na watwi bia Arcas sisi se upenku papa asra ama wo wede no atoso se na ha se de etwagu se de me de etwagu ya eno ane se odi wani e be kire omo akache for Arcas e wo 917 8363155 917-836-3155 enkuno eyema ema esan yema emema se wo frɛ Arcasa utimi de oye ne se enkuno eye customized enku enti no utimi send wo skin utwa wo picture na wa send am na se ono ane obehia na oni wadi nkomo na wa kire no ebia wo dry skin na se wo oily skin na se wo acne bibiara a ha obia no woni no kan obeye enku no na ode amount da de de wo mu ni se Arcas enku no me se bibiara a wo hye bia no won sa be kan wo de eno se wo bank pa eno ane se otuka no de abro ana se obemeli de abro nti for Arcas omo wo oils omo wo facial creams some one enema bebre ofre omo a ubenya ebo no so eda form say for nti for Arcas me maje me de me use all me dia me use no for all skin types ehwam so kama me say me hu say me mane ba kon so start esra bi nti Arcas abunsia enchemfa se wo ye kokko a wo kokko no empopo wo ho se usra enku a me yetuntum but part of my body no kokko misra enku bi me share na ese me search something which is the me started say misra Arcas no voila me nyana eko nti no de yehu na yedi hu adanse enku no say de me kan e masra e mema so sra e mema de no oji shades nti se won say oji ni skin ni twagusu na ha sa ni secret ani Arcas organic mixtures nti for Arcas na kwaje wode se wo pe baabi ene abusuafo akotena didi ana se wo pe party wo ye party kitu bi na wo pe baabi akwa dear party bia na bibi kakra bia make for Eleanor's Kitchen na de ama Eleanor's 3289 Westchester Avenue and Ghana nuane nyina wo pe bia ebi wo honom ho very very nice nti afa ni nchire mu Eleanor's omo address no said the mekan 3289 Westchester Avenue Bronx he ya for Eleanor's 347 2938282 ti say wo ye bibi na opese order nuane kra na eno ane say wo be for Eleanor's o for Eleanor's a omo be ma enuane papa Eleanor's enuane papa efie wo be di afile ebusiafo na meka wo say the gawa our jumedie no and our sugusu a utie no na ye ne Mr. Richard Amankwah and etchen komo efa real estate ho wa cheche ye nema bebre mu empepi no na me de me feel say ubehia sika bocho ansana watimi atofie but wa cheche ye mu say there were programs hono ma se woni sika ubetimi akwa o mo beboa wo ekwan a obefa so mo beboa wo ene ekwan a obefa so wo interest and as wo mortgage na obetua no ebe yeketo at the same time so efie na woto no esan investment de ma nti se wo asembisa utimi de eto comment section ase na mebisa say condo any co-op no difference ne de he na o chemu say condo no ti say apartment na wa tobi wo mu let's say up a 1, 2 or 3 bedroom apartment ultimato management and managing it is snow to and yes afi na wo sorry so kwakoti snow na co-op no so de we a shareholder ni se koba na se watenam na pese utu a sika o de to ase no eno na onsa beka nti no ya tuatua mortgage baby matena me fie 15 years me tua sika to agupa nse se de mbebo me ho na ja mape bibia ato se de be ya bi ntua sika entumu afa nso no kra wo nso utimi be landlord nti na busiafo de gawa awajumedie no na wasugusu a utie no Mr. Amankwah enti mortgage rate no fixed and say at a point said they are na yen rent no utua we be sign lease na utua ebia afibia be increase will rent no and I say every 2 years no your rent no echo up no mortgage rate no so no ho asem te say ejina faako anase no so tutu sisi sa.
Yo, that's be brave. Mortgage rate no. To me to ACC. Na say sebi yesha enam NSA enam 7%. And the mortgage rate no 7%. Say enti nkrofo bebre ati ada a omo asem omo kan say mortgage no interest rate no e was soro dodo. But say you share historically for the past 50 years meko US news person me share say bia oh yes you say
I'm sure say it's me the what so nah
no.
okay what obet me akan.
Okay. You share historically for the past 50 years 7% no from 1971 to 79 the lowest was actually the minimum mortgage was actually 7.23. Now 1980 to 1989 a honum that 10-year period hona yenya the highest interest rate and went as high as 18.63. And the minimum during that 10-year period from 80 to 89 was 9.03. Only in the past from 2010 through the present and experiencing the lowest mortgage. 2010 through 2019 the lowest was 3.31, and then 2020 the lowest, and to the present and the experience be 2.65. And historically baby you was to say 7% no ebi obi beka say me twen na ekofo mo a mato a bit to me this year the projection is a bit to me about from kakra to probably 6%, but ni nyina is controlled by the feds. But so oka say wo twen na ba from ansan wato edan a so ti ase say and also ba from na wo mo so person mo ton mo dan no so omo increase edan no price. Enti say why wadwen na why ahoboa no na wutumi a meka say mentwen if you say wuto ne sisi na say that interest rate no eba from a wobetumi a refinance enya sa lower interest rate no, but say woka say wo twen na interest rate ne ba from a eno no edan ne nya odia afi na wokọ akọpẹ ato nti sa time no npa kra ne dia no so ono so be increasing the price. Nti say why wadwen now wo ahoɔden a wobetumi di ato a meka say mentwen to ne sisi interest rate ne drop a utumi refinance ema wo interest rate drop and edan no ye odia wo payment ebe kofom, but say we need dan no dia interest rate ne drop a still you don't have it, ubetia more for it. Thank you.
Okay, empepe ni na ye tight bibi say foreclosure. E dey na di foreclosure e ba na say dey ntina at a point na uti fie no mu ana ye di foreclosure abebo ho no.
Okay. Foreclosure any say obi entumi ntia ne mortgage for various reasons. Na say wo ba ansa na ye be tu anamon say wo beto dan no ye no bet na se ni ahwe wo sika semu said they will make it every month, any how much I want to me save, any your expenses and your goals. You know it's not near this uncommon one, and you be to me who say why you ready sell per se what to dine, and I say be will credit score so. Say obi busa a question earlier said we credit here between 500 and 550. Mesre say bomodin your credit so we have programs that can work with you to build your credit. You better so build your credit with some of these programs. Until you can come, we can talk about it. Now, Say say o build o credit area and a good idea say o be call na wakope mortgage no.
But say we credit enya untimi ma obi in support what I will be at the credit here intimi support na unya mortgage ana.
And co-sign and yes, ube to me aye eno. That means only pakron na ne wo eto only pakron di ni din
To so.
to so. Nti wo di ejinamu ama. So the person is co-signing for you. So the person is also quote unquote responsible for it. So foreclosure, as you said earlier, it can happen in so many ways. If you are not able to pay your mortgage, that can happen. Sometimes some people fall sick or whatever the case is. But if you have any situation and you are able to approach your bank and speak to them, most of them will work with you so that foreclosure doesn't happen. But if you ignore and you don't pay and you just throw your hands without consulting your bank, then they need their money, so they will come after you. Nti ni nyina say wo hu akire na wo hu banka banks no mpem bebre ebi mu empese edan no esi ho anya no hwe, but watumi akọ na oni o makokasa ebi beti ase so they can work some payment plan and help you, get back on your feet, because edan is you no ma emphasis come wrong.
Okay, na me pa cha dey say ansa wo beto fie na say wa paki sika gu ho pa o, because say wo income no and ankoye stable at a point. Let's say what to fie no ene, but a year or two down the line, now where Juma say you've lost your job, now the income that you are making cannot meet the mortgage payments now. That is when the foreclosure comes in. No, into the bad is that and they say one more about when say we to few. What is your take on that?
My take on that is, Sebi, nothing ventured, nothing gained. As a trainer say, what if I want, what you idea so? Enti, menka say, so nya sika pudu obi da ho ansana, why you wajen say wo to dan. Dan to investment. And Sebi say, o renting so nko a said you see kai no say wo lose job still if you rob it too. But say what to me ato two family a ye ka ho asem yi na the baby a rent ya na wo lose wo job at least sika kakra ebem enti say when ya nipa mi do bit basement na obi nso te first floor right there with two incomes neighbor into who ahenhan into ye share out of 6,700 wo dia e wo mu a wutia is about 1,200 into say adwuma say ye abamu a emre tia wa mu no wutumi ebo modern eye bibia wutia 1,200 is easier than say wutia 3,500. So wo rent ya 3,500 ni nyina wo na eso wutia. But say what me abomodi ato dan ya what ye bi kakra de utua ye 1,200 a month enti no so utumi ebomodi na ohwehwe bibi kakra unsa besuso ase a uhun besne wo am wetumi atua 1,200 no dan say utua 3,500. Thank you.
Okay, ebusia for mpacho so abaso na wa share program no e de amaye na me fa akwanya we so e de achiachia ebusia for ne adofo a e so the vice president of Ghanaian Healthcare Workers Association Gawa Mr. Patrick Adofo also a o share Mr. Frank Sarpong me papa also a o share yen Mr. John Oten also a o share Sister Edith Davis, Sister Jennifer Abbey, Sister Juliana Queen and Mr. Joseph Jamfi and so also a o share and Sister Francisca Njoku, Dr. Francisca Njoku also a o share and Agaspa Kumi, Mr. Agaspa Kumi, and so I was so I was saying. But also, comment bia na utimi edito asie. Answer a best so no me the Mr. Richard number ebeto ho no munti say after the program no person one no etwetwe nkoma utimi efre no owo abotre obekyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma mu mpempi no ya na agents ni bi ho no ma ono ne commission a all painting no na wakeka nsɛm bebre brofo ni bi ho krampa ye ka wonte ase enso no bien brother ewo abotre a odi be yiyi ensɛm yi nyinaa ano enti no se o asembisa sister Sarah Akins so a o hyen Michelle Bibri mi big sister and sister Mavis Boahema also o so a o hyen ebusiafo meje enkrato abasese ya na yasan atoa enkomo twetwe ne so dwumadie omo a omo aso yasen ema ye de bramo na wachi bia. And so, our case said the medical kind, our case organic mixtures. So, upin papa asra ama already no atoso na hanaha. Our case is let your skin do the talking for you. Into the one from 917 38 8363155 917-8363155. Our case in kun make me use for all skin types and no enamesra into no. Me sha se me sra enqueen no me hu difference ewo me redie mu e ma sra e mema enso sra se wasra enku bi ama apopo won sachi ama wo sachi aye tuntun ase kokwa ya toto for our case o ma enku papa e de aye won sachi ama e honom aye kama se na so obeya tegu anim anase acne aye wanim eno anase ode wani be chere our case me se me frɛ no eni ahe no de me de abreme we bi a wo hye bia no obetu ka e de abro anase obemeli e de abro nti for our case na koje wo de afi so Elena's kitchen se wo pe efia authentic Ghanaian food e honom e na esese wo de wani e kire for Elena's e wo 347-298-8282 omo address no 3289 Westchester Avenue omo Bronx heya so wo pe baby ato party a Elena's se fa wani kire omo akache omo beje o fel so afi se wo ko Ghana anase se wo Ghana na wo pe car papa adam ama ehu se burger e na ebe ya eno ane se wo de wani be kire Christmas Auto Group wo frɛ omo a se wo pe se omo ama o driver omo driver so ho e na se wo pe se wa uchi nso a eno ane se kwa kwaje wa o car na wadem car bia wo pe se wo dem bia se SUV se van se saloon car myself e bia wo pe bia no Christmas Auto Group say fra wani kire omo akache fra omo e wo 347 fra omo +233 30 224418 ofre o maka bia upe bia no eno ane so beka chom se edincrafo ene wuche number ni efi o mo honom afi se ope sikamane aba edwaman so sikamane a partial wo ye ya na akọ asumdue mu enya afi ne beka se pending processing bia eno ane lollycash download the lollycash no Google Play and as App Store na promo code edinkra lollycash rate no soro se chain ni nyina me use 3 apps but me start say me use lollycash mapem into no download lollycash nko ane the money transfer app so your business or Ghana na opese ye send sika edebrewa omo de no sending and receiving enye other ones na sending nko a into download the lollycash na ubehu the American say rate no rate mu King Kong ankasa afi say wo pe more cable channels a ebo no eda form say better a mekan for say obefre edinkra digibox digibox no me say me use be all the channels, all the soccer channels, BN Sports, La Liga, all the soccer channels, all it's about 200 and something channels and also afi se wo pe Ghana programs asha me see me use be eno ene da me phone use wo frɛ DJ Jema onsa ebe kan wo de eno ane se obefrɛ 347 3501857 ofre na obeti atumu ama opasho ehu hia kra se obeto equipment bia monthly charges a obetu aye $10 pe na che say channels ni nyina eto da woje cable a wobetua premiums upe soccer channels you have to pay extra we so de waka ni nyina abom ama upe se utua no afimu ni nyina ubetimi aye ne sa ebo no eda from de ohia ni internet oyema won so a se upe se wo hye no phone so se sia me pese me share program ya me call me phone yi so se ya metimi ahye no e wo ho no mo ana se upe Ghana channels ni bebre ahye se ye UTV Sompa TV ne de akeka ho no nyina Kesben bibia uhia bia no ne nyina e wo so nti se wo adwuma mu kana se wo pe bibia hya eno ane se wo call phone ne so ahye obeya ama wo TV so na afi wa ya ama wo tablet wo laptop ana se wo phone so nti bia wo ko bia no you have your TV on the go ebusiafo na meka mo se dem Gawa our Jumedi no ena wasugusu a utie no ene ye ne Mr. Richard Amankwah ena etwetwe nkomo efa dan to anase owning or renting a house ho enkomo ena ye twetwe ya keka bebre enti no se wo asem bisa utimi e de comment eto comment section ase Mr. Richard ne number ni 646 3198313 646 3198313 and so to me frame after the program no me the number ne be ma ono ane obetena se na wa kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm nti wo bɛboa wo questions ano ansa wakɔ enye enempo ana minim se wo beto dan a you need a lawyer nneɛma nketenkete bi ohonom key factors bi ohonom a you have to gather all these informations and sana wo di wuti akohyem se kwakoto dan sometimes no it's in life no we think some of us we think like some things are a competition obi atofie nti se me nsumi to eto efie one thing is say efie ne to ne de eye but to maintain it and I say to hold it down not ye can be say foreclosure into no say oh yeah now at a point untimi ntia you gonna lose the house na sika wo di shame nyina no e be hia na say obenya bi back Mr. Amankwah
say eba say say uko foreclosure mesre say the best will be to try to talk to the bank, to the mortgage company. If you say then call foreclosure, it doesn't benefit them.
The bank?
Yes.
Why?
Because say it comes back into their books, and most of the time they have to sell it for a reduced price. And I'm so who say omo dan call foreclosure ebi mu essay e dan no. But ansa na obedu ho no a good idea say on bank ne bekasa. Ana say obepe obi ti say me real estate agent. Say unim say for the next 2-3 months nya dia obi to me etua o rent because of BBS here. Better say obehwehwe obi ti say me na ya tena se ne yakasa na mape obi amanato edan no efri wonsa na wa anko foreclosure uko minyo obi maneto dan ne ma wa asewu credit ena eno nso no utumi kura nso enya usika nyina basa wotwen e maneko foreclosure e kire se baby a watua sika na du bia no de aka no se bank no eton edan no edan akọ foreclosure nkrofo empese ombeto no the market value omo pen fufu
okay
nti bomodin se wo ntwen ma wo dan nkọ foreclosure hwehwe real estate agent biti se me a wo trust no we can work effectively with you and try and sell your house for you to recoup some equity that you've built. Ska wotua dada nyina ebetumi aboa mo wato dan no na wonsa kan sika. Na ne opese utu ana opese the opese wo diska ni bia na odi aye. Nti ansa na bedu ho no bomodin woni bank ne bekasa. Eno anko ya pe real estate agent obetumi aboa na wotumi aton dan no na wenya usika from it. Dan so be ma akodi bank nse.
Mr. Ernest Kwame Asare, our comment or question, Edema, or say, are there any payment assistance for churches?
say there from the state there, not that I know of, but yeah, we can explore. I can look around. Not that I know of right now, but it's something that I can research into. Mostly, yeah, for families that want to buy
Buy a
homes,
house.
not for organizations like that. But I'm not sure, but I'm not saying there cannot be. It's just I'm not aware of, so I can research into it and get back to it.
Yo, young sister Ivy Blue, it was so, and the president of Royals, Queens and Kings fan club na Najwa Eshumamansa also was so Osha and Pacha. Where the question by Natural SBB so. A sorry, super so much to be, let's say a non-profit organization is be no some person much a place, office be and I say a sorry. Do they also have to go through all this process here? I can't answer me. And I say there is other ways for them to go through about it.
There are a couple of things that are different for I know more of a commercial property. And then we residential because in our kind of non-profit and I say a church. It's treated as a commercial entity. Yes, there are different processes I say omu go through. And then you know so ma yet na see a bit to me actual. For sorry no, they have to get something from the state. A church say they are recognized by the state. And then so also enya omu down payment most of the time a higher than regular to say will be our regular family airtop property no. And that's the difference.
Okay, let's say I bought a house 20, 30 years ago. Now I want to give the house to my kids. What steps do I have to take? And I say I can just easily call my bank and say, so you me didn't feel so na family me didn't share so, and I say what are the legal precautions and all that I have to do that?
Thank you for this question. We a different topic altogether. Bibia say for the kids to avoid paying huge taxes because of capital gains, it would be a good idea say obey we obey passing through
The proper channel.
yes.
Okay.
This is a totally different topic.
Okay,
Maybe
so-
a quite be also obey the ama through a trust. We form more trust now would the through that with the Amankwah and no avoid the kids incurring heavy, capital gains tax whenever they want to sell. So there are ways to do it.
So, as a first time home buyer, what are some key factors that I have to look into or consider before I can buy a house?
One, you have to, what is your goal? That is number one. And then number two, where do you want to live? Where do you want to buy the house at? And then your income, the income you are making. And then what is your family situation? Sabi afin wasi so na wone wire ene bobra na mu nyina mu ye adwuma na enkwara embemu a wo pese wo hwehwe impotemu a wo betumi sabi munya nkwara mo betumi a raise you enti so hwehwe ba bia wo tena eho eye ba bia school system no eye very good because unya to dan na mbetena ho na nkwara no be ko school hono mbenyini ti say baby you feel comfortable and the school system is good apart from your income and then also your savings and then your credit score, which is very important. After these things we can sit down and then go through some other factors and see if you are ready for it, but those are the major issues: your credit score, your income, and then what your goals are, to see how much you can afford to purchase in the area you want to stay at.
Okay, let's say baby a mato feel na a flooded area. No other like insurance no, do I have to get a flooding insurance? And I say omo worki bibia the same apart from the other insurance, regular insurance na uti anana.
And son Alberto Fino, one of the things that that has to happen is title insurance, no. Along those lines, it will show say a flooded area. A flooded area, the mortgage company will require that you buy flood insurance. Until that will be separate. Okay. But so say omodeka mortgage no hunso you can add it to it. But most of the time it can be separate.
Okay, aside that, so na yete hu say almost afibia no ejahye nso wo hono mo pa. Do I have to get fire insurance also?
I know I can regular insurance auto on the property no.
Oh, okay.
No any separate.
All right. Inti na back to the condo ne you co-op on so no no so say we insurance ana.
Yes, and also auto insurance, yeah, homeowners insurance. That's also.
Na yeah, yet apartment mu so say insurance.
And also bet me at all. Yeah, there are companies that will sell apartment insurance. Yes.
And only renters insurance.
Renters insurance.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So about the insurance, I think I have to get an insurance person. Also, bet you but kakra unim. Let's say metua insurance na but bibia inside will feel ho no more. Still na you keep on paying for it. You don't get any benefit from it.
But I said yeah. What car now? What the insurance at also? Time be take your music and so be banner. But unfortunately, that is the way things go. Insurance is to pay ahead in case something happens. It be BNC, you just keep paying.
Oh. I thought insurance in the moment they need to especially cell phone day. Ube who 2 years special phone name say insurance and running out. Wow, no phone no asset. I thought that's need anyway. We see for na make I say the gawa our jumedi no and our sugusu uti mede asedake said in check sema the CEO and the executive producer of the Gawa Hour, Mr. Patrick Adofo na hotedin Mr. Open Tema friend DJ Jam and now the be in tem DJ Jam yada wasi bebre say na watchi bia o soya sen ema yede the Gawa Hour jumedi no ebesom ya hwefo yede asedake sensuma ya hwefo say yeba na mo ametie de wo mamo a ne abeye ejumehu nti no na mefa akwanya we say so achacha Adofo any ebusia for was so Sister Meslin Kufo also Oshayen, Sister Belinda Ejare also also Sister Ivy Blue also Oshayen, and Sister Juliana Queen also also Oshayen, and Sister Abena Dankwa also Oshayen. Ebusia for na make am say the Gawa our Jumedi no and Masugusu mutie no. Ghanaian Healthcare Workers Association yetwa ne tia se Gawa. Ye ne Edinkra Multimedia and say Edinkra Radio. Ye say na watchi bia ye ne me ba betwetwe nkomo afa ya pomudin ho ene enye apomudin ho nkomo na ye di ene say de me kan no enye apomudin ho nko anti ene no ye real estate. Ya cheche enema bebre mu say no say ye wadwen say obetofie anase na wadwen aye wontanta we be say ne de ya wai ekro nanim ama ekro no ani ada honom nti ye wie dwumade na obetimi afre yem brother ewo 6463198313 anase obetimi afre me na me de number amount obecheche wo ensem bebre mu said the bear ubehu anamon a opese utu no enye se ebia obi a 20 onso okwa kotobi efie to enafom at a point na wato efie no na ebia wan wantimi entua ka sika odi shemu ne nyina no nyame ampata na ahye enti no eno ho nkomo na yedie enti Mr. Amankwah ansa ye be sorry so enche ye be sorry so ansa ye be sorry so no edebe futu sem na ode be mayen efa efito ho ekwan afa so a obeto efie. Okay, before that no now yeah kan nyina no was an estimation of a two family house. What about a one family house? If I cannot afford a two family house, two family house no, we know that it has its advantages, but what about a one family house?
One family house also has equal advantages in the sense say you consider it as a form of investment. Enti the etie bia se wa hoɔden betumi nko ade a mekamfo ama say ye bibia se utumi etobia eboa se wa hoɔden beso nko ana muye mienu na mo kamutri abom say oba ni okuno a a good idea, a good investment for your future and for that of your kids. There were so many tax benefits you go through earlier. There were so many other benefits. So who fear utumi na sebi wa wo ye wadwuma utumi use part of it. Say baby a wo ye adwuma
Office.
Home office etumi use. Ɛdan no nso wokɔ sutua no ɛdan no nso bɛyɛ appreciate. New York dan wotɔ a within 5 years ebi wɔ hɔ mpo ndu ebi wɔ hɔ the next year na wobɛyɛ appraiser bon sɛ dan no ɛkɔ soro. Adwuma bibia ni hɔ a ɛwɔ guaranteed appreciation value. Investment, most of the time investment be anywhere what that guaranteed appreciation value to say a dime to most of the time into what or dime and not New York on definitely 5 years 10 years a dino value ebe kosoro so person utonwa scouted to us here definitely ubenya ho emo ho apart from tax benefits every year be a wunya no a dino value so ebe appreciate.
Okay, I think I'm gonna take a step back about the taxes. A dino hono, I'm say, like let's say we need dependent. A dino to me your dependent. I would be file taxes.
Wunya to dan kai say wo diska kakra na to wase e na bank no so wasene e di bebre to ho. Enti according to tax laws no a dan no interest bia wutua wutumi deduct e na afen so a dan no primary mortgage interest any taxes wutua no so wutumi claim part of it. Yes, so you don't have to have a child nkoa and you dependent nkoa na wutumi edge huska the first what to dan no you may be a ma we ye ewo a dan ho a bibi wo ho depend on your tax bracket no utumi you should be file it with taxes, but your tax professional will be able to go into details for you.
Oh, okay. Now taxes no does it stay the same and I say from time to time and it may cost room?
And depending on the city no.
Okay.
Most cities at the end of the year almost reduce almost budget almost now almost determine what the taxes are going to be. I think last year I put here I think somewhere in Orange County baby almost year almost budget no they were able to reduce the homeowners taxes for them surprisingly.
I don't know, say comment team I go through and I say skip Mr. Peter Amankwah. I say, can you negotiate with your mortgage company for a lesser interest rate without refinancing your mortgage?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I will be to me. Yes, it depending on what the situation is. Some of them might be able to do it, but if they don't want to, then your only option will be refinancing.
Okay, now yeah, you into a few yeah. Yat mate refinancing. What is refinancing all about?
Refinancing, and they say, and you can say interest rate 7%. No, you find say what to a dino and 200,000. Now 3 years down the road, interest rate aquaform to 3%. Wobetumi akɔ back to the bank say wopɛ sɛ refinance it because say wotɔ dan no na wotua interest rate of 7% on the loan a wagye. And it's 3 years down the road na interest rate na akɔ fam a wobetumi akɔ yɛmfa sɛ ɛno nti no wotua mortgage bɛyɛ 1,500. Now in 3 years down the road kɔ bank no a woka sɛ okay mepɛ sɛ refinance it. That means mepɛ sɛ megye lower interest rate on the rest of my mortgage aka no nti ɛno no sɛ wotumi ɛyɛ no a ɛbɛte wo mortgage payment ne so ama
Okay.
na ɛbɛsa te it can reduce the principal also nti ɛbɛ lower the interest rate no will lower the amount a wotua.
How many times now between I refinancing and that's why you never occupy no.
Refinance wotumi yɛ no so many times but the ɛteɛ ne sɛ woyɛ refinance na ɛte sɛ deɛ ɛkwan bi so no wosagye new mortgage ɛna ato ɛdan no so.
Okay.
And you have to go through the process of closing. And it incurs closing cost and so any other cost. And you have to think and see say is it worth it? Ɛwɔ ɛka nketenkete bi ɛbɛkeka ho sɛ wotua sɛ bank no lawyer bank no nso mbɛka sɛ ɔmbɛcharge for paperwork a ɔmo yɛ any lawyer fee any wokɔ register new mortgage no nti ne nyinaa no ɛka nketenkete yɛde bɛka ho no ɛsɛ ɔdwene ho na ahwɛ sɛ okay is it worth sɛ interest rate no and drop here is it worth me refinancing.
My pacho MCOG our question Emma was say what about if I need a 2-bedroom apartment or if I need a 3-bedroom condo?
But your question or say what is the difference between a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom condo?
He's saying, what about if I need a 2-bedroom apartment or if I need a 3-bedroom condo? Okay, so I think he wants to know the difference between owning an like renting an apartment and owning a condo.
Okay. Said you see a can earlier no. So auto yeah, okay, nyahwe. Condo no bibia wato ti said a water efie enti ɛno with the down payment ɛbɛto aseɛ and I'll bet your mortgage and so at the end of I'll bet your mortgage and so every month ɛbɛ appreciate in its value enti so auto condo and now in 10 years you find say no what on 200,000 in 10 years ebia nebo bɛkɔ soro bɛkɔ akɔsi bɛbia 250 so kɔsi 250 ɛkyerɛ sɛ within that 10-year period no usika no o condo no increase when you $50,000 appreciation value but say o rent 2-bedroom and the uts kanama landlord no and in 10 years landlord no obetum obetua more but say wo ton utu a untumi nka so mfa usika ma but condo no de wo dia in 10 years so person ton a nebo no akosoro nti wo ton a obenya $50,000 ba wo our pocket apart from usika or the two ase no benya se ska no but rent there o rent ya obi na utia no mortgage aman.
Okay, MCOG me say you asem na no ama na me pacho interest rate na me pese me time bisa e ho asem. Let's say imprepi no me minto fie but me tight say 30-year more 30-year your friend say fixed rate and in 15 years, which is which? 15 years, what is the difference between the 15 years fixed rate and the 30-year fixed rate? And then also, let's say, what the 15 years, now after 15 years, is the rate gonna go up and I say it's still gonna stay the same?
Thank you. Ejina Okoji mortgage no contract I will sign here. 15 years no kyerɛ sɛ woje mortgage 200,000 now so open 15 years most of the time no interest rate say 15-year interest rate no ɛna mehwɛ ɛnam 6.34 and a 30-year rate near 6.97, which is almost 7%. Into 30 years, dear no, was through, and a 15 years, dear no, was from kakra by almost close to 0.5%.
Okay.
But that 0.5%, no, it makes a difference in terms of wood, yeah, because a compound the interest rate. And so would you 15 years na in 15 years unya ntua ya eba abeso ubetumi asa refinance so that you get a new mortgage on the rest of the loan aka.
Yo, abusia for meje enkrato kakra aba se opesika mane aba edwaman so obi aja tum se eno ene papa eno ane lollycash. Download the lollycash no ewo App Store and as a Google Play. Now o download or obey your transaction or maybe so for promo code and ane se obebo edinkra edi ahye so ADINKRA omu rate no ewo soro utimi send sika de koto wa mobile wallet so and as a bank account mu or how bia eni so eni ho lollycash so utimi se we business ewo hanom and as a business ewo Ghana utimi like you in and out transaction and the other ones na out transactions nkwano nti download the lollycash na omu rate no was soro nti afen so na make am for Christmas auto group de amamo se wo ko Ghana na wo pe car papa ademu car upie ya no bia hu se burger na ebe nye se wakodu burger na afen na corporate trotro ho a eno ane se wo be free Christmas auto group omo number no 233 3022 44814 ofre o ma otimi ye nhihye ne nyina wa hanom ansa na akwakodu Ghana anase ukodu Ghana nso a obetimi afre number yi omo chauffeurs so honom ase wo pese omo drive around a omo be make that accommodations anase provisions ne nyina e de amount anase wo pese wa utwi wa de a eno so akwanya no e wo honom car bia wo pe bia say SUVs minivans anase Highlanders 4x4 bibia wo pe bia no ofre omo a omo beje fel so eno anase be catch say oje wo number no efi edinkra for honom omo be ye uyi omo be ye fine do discount de say bocho afi na make am for Elena's Kitchen the amount so wope baby ni adofo akotena keka mo ano ase anase wo pese auto party kitu bia Elena's Zebra na ombeje ofel so anase wo ye occasion bi na wo pese order enuane a eno nso eduane biara a wo pe bia no Elena's eye bi enti no eno anase wo be frɛ wo mo e wo 347 293 8282 omo Bronx here omo address no 3289 Westchester Avenue e Bronx here eno anase obefre omo ofre omo ase de me kan na eno anase obeka se edinkra for na woje number ni fi omo honom obem ebema discount se watoba how obesonda ye basa obesonda ye na se bi obi ne woda anase obesonda ye kwa na da ye na woso ye no orefi wo ye adwuma bebre na nso sika ent na wonsem spiritual battles bia ukomu bia no mekan for Helping Hands Heart the amount offer Helping Hands Heart 347 796 8747 sunsumu ahinta sembia no omo ebeka chiro afi na mekai also said the all white boat cruise no me say me manager say friend cruise versary afi de no cruise versary nti eno ane say ticket no aba edwaman so de that ticket no single $80 and a couple $150 eno ane say obefre 347 350 1857 347 350 1857 and also waiting after 929 331 858 60 and I say obetimi afreme and I say obetimi I inbox DJ JM and I say MCOG e all the platforms or more Facebook or more Instagram Twitter you name it or more honum and one say obefred the microphone jata na ode we take it no amount e bo no eda from last year it year more but this year they almost say esan say the 10th edition ti o matete e bo no so ama ye say shi umpewe na opede hin nti enyina ye de ani ekochirem July 5th all white boat cruise versary no e baso live and colored nti ebusuafo na meka mo say the gawa our dwumadie no e na wasugusu a utie no upenku papa asra ama owede no sama ebebe ya yebedwudwa ya wam yebehye nka bedwudwa ya wam yi ye nsa ho de enku papa a mekanfo e de ama our cares organic mixtures me say our cares nku no misra for all skin types no wo ye kokko a e ma kokko mu to ho na ha kama e na wo ye tuntum nso a e ma wo tuntum no nso e to ho na ha kama empopo wo e na ense wo wede nso ani emma wo na obedi ho adanse de eyede wo mu ne se wo frɛ na ba bia wo bia no ida se obemeli di abro ana se ono abetuka e di abro for arcas e wo 917-836-3155 na kwaje odie arcas nku no se de mekan no e masra e na e mema nso esra e mema no sra oji sheets nku no ehwampa omo facial scrubs ebi ohono ma wo ye makeup wie crampo na wo yi ade me set a menyaye no me use the regular cloth and me use na me hu say still na makeup no womanim but o ma me the makeup remover no me kofia o de fa wanim asese ya na che say eyi makeup na assign so ama wanim nso ada so kama our case say me can just say let your skin do the talking inti for our case na koje odie ebusiafo na me ka mo say the gawa our dwumadie no e na wasugusu a utie no ene ye ne Mr. Richard Amankwah e na echichen komo e fa real estate ho ba cheche ye enema bebre mu abobo enema bebre so e de akere ye ansa ye be sorry so no mesan e de young brother number no ato asi mesa bobo ne number ni biem nti no after the program no say o pese o friend na won ne chichi nkoma e no ana say o be friend no 646-319-8313 646-319-8313 friend no na on cheche ensemu enchro me say o ka yen ye kasa nti de won ti ase bia no obetimi acheche mu ama wanya wo ho entiase anase asembisa bia wo pese ubisa bia no utimi ebisa no na wayiwa no ono be schedule time enye phone so nkomo ono time a ebe favor wo no na ode ahye ho no ama na afi wa be wai ensem anase wa be chekere wo ensem ani wa ma yanya ntia ese apartment ma yetene de nkeye na emomu no emwa ye sika na se bi ye tua etugu se utimiji kondo kwana is a form of investment into the no one say wo be frɛ young brother na wa ne na atwetwe nkomo na wa kyerɛkyerɛw eniema ani programs e wo hɔ no ma say usika enso the full down payment and as a closing payment na obɛkyerɛw ama ɔmo aboa ama wanya sa sika we say e de ato edan nase anase wo dey closing umpewe na opede hin Ghanaian Healthcare Workers Association a charity asegawa yene edinkra multimedia yesi na watwi bia no meba betwetwe nkomo ewo efidue mu eya na ye sha ase nyina na apomuden ho nkomo nko na yedie but dwumade ne nye apomuden ho nko a ye adamatesin so eba be frafra mu nti ene no yene a real estate agent ena etwetwe nkomo efa ekwan a obefa so obeto efie ebia na eye wani suade hu anasa is your dream to own a home in America young brother ewa hanom say obeboa wo ama watimi atofie ama wahu se sebe obre anye kwa snow ya wetwa mu anu dachi bia no ekoba ne se krom hafron na so ko krom a utimi ton enya sika na wode to ase no ebewo emoho so e de amount se de ebe ya obenya bibi kakra nso e de ekra anasa wode atu botom e de akọ efie enche ye be sorry so ye de asida kese emma yen aboafo a omoso yasen na wotwe bia ma yedi dwumadie e de brem Lollycash our cares organic mixtures Eleanor's kitchen and your friend say helping hands heart mo na mo so yase e ma ye di dwumedie ebre mo na wachi bia se wo ye bibi anasa wo ton bibi na wo pese edinkрафo ye bo ho dero e de mawa eno ane se wo be frɛ 929331 8560 929331856 and also betimi afre MCOG and I say the executive producer and the CEO of Edinkra Radio DJ Jam ofrena omono ebedi ensa wo so omobo no eda form kama Edinkra for bo oniema ho de roma wa uni how enti mo frɛ na mo mfa mo niema mra na ye mo ho de ro ema mo so we event na op MC amana gigi event ne ho ama wa eno ane the microphone president and I said the microphone jata MCOG ofrena obema wo program no aye krabetwe obejeje ho ama kama afen so se wo pe DJ ono so obema the dance floor no ejina ne nan so eno ane the CEO name the boss himself ogboro na nkasa DJ Jam eno ane se obefre no 347-350-1857 ofrena obema wo discount eno ane se de ka se wunya ne number if you me hotina honom or the discount ebema obema event nenso aye kra beshe ukojina dance floor hona on sorry so enche ye be sorry jumedie ni so midinity na Sarpong the host of the Gawa Hour ebusiafo the asidakese enso ema Mr. Richard Amankwah ono so ye ton safre no oja na daje honom aba obecheche ne emendi so next week ye be san aba yene Dr. Francisca Njoku ele ba bechichi nkomo ewo ahanom nti so wasembise bia na se asembise bia ni honom de a Mr. Amankwah ira si bebre na ansa na no ede be futuo e na de be ma obi a opese otofie anase own an apartment I mean a condo and as a co-op me say no me we ya me dem intimi ntofie but apartment a co-op and as a condo the ebia betimi abọ me home modern nkranhye se wana se futu semben e na adibija ya ansa na ya sorry so
yo me da se bebre etifo e da masi enwumre masem kakra me kan se be krom ha ya be eye se ye ti ase se sikano ye pa eye se yenye bi na yedi bi eye investment na ye save bi na fe ansana ya spende ebi na kwan ba ko a yedi yesika eye investment ene se wuto efie anase wuto condo edu ba bia en free se obi enim bibi hu nimdie nti e bia obedwen se medie me hu enso nanso oba ne edi nkomo ne yehwe usika semu a ebewie akire no na bia ye were so many other programs that you can qualify for say ebetumi aboa ama watumi ahwe na waye what take certain short steps be with me they are prepared towards buying a house a krumanum a dying kwana over 30 years it has the history of appreciating we do sikakoto stock marketer it me she a dying so prices it to me conform there but over a long period there is always the guarantee say conform kra ebebasro enti se me kamfo ama se wunye wadwen a hwe osika sem so yie hwe credits yie na tutu onuama yie na se eba wadwen se wani je ho so obeto dan ko ade a bra mayindi nkomo ekwan bibre wo ho a obetumi afaso ebetumi afaso aboa na watumi ato ti medamase enwumre manuesi
we do have a last question. Young fan said me halfway through my mortgage now. Can I purchase another home? And I said I just made sure about couldn't carry answer me to me out of from.
There be a Marabian who says so tia mortgage we answer no to me out of from.
Okay.
Ejna said you seek a same city. So when you actually half of it in Puerto that means say half the depending on what the why appraiser depending on the equity a dining equity chair say
woto dan no 10 years ago na yɛ 500,000 na sisi watua sisi aka bɛyɛ watua for 10 years aka ɛka bɛyɛ 200,000 na ɛwɔ so na afei wobɛhwɛ no wo appraise ɛdan no hwɛ sɛ ɛdan sisi market value ɛyɛ sɛn na wobɛkɔ akɔhwɛ na ɛdan no appraise for 750. That means sisi wɔ equity of 500,000 or close to 500,000. Enti di obetumi ayɛ ne sɛ opa obetumi ɛde sika no atɔ ɛdan foforɔ as an investment because who that equity no wɔ hɔ woyi sɛ sika no fim na de tɔ dan foforɔ ɛde invest a ɛbɛma wo akɔ so ɛnyɛ sika more. Your investment is going to grow instead sɛ ɔbɛtwɛn sɛ wo twɛn no atua ɛdan no nyinaa awie.
Okay, into no metimi like me on New York, hey. Metimi ato dan ni bi on New York hanom. No masa to bi a different state ana.
But I ubetimi ato dan no baby a oto a as for investment purposes that wo hwɛ the scale de beba na ye it makes sense in Kwandia. Yes, there is no nothing wrong with buying a house in another
different state.
There
Okay. Yo, ebusia for ene aha na mrebe ma ye ho kwan amade ye de the Gawa Hour Jumedi no ebesi. Asidan kese enkoma the executive producer of the Gawa Hour DJ Jam. Afi asidan kese enso enkoma MCOG, my number one cheerleader, my number one manager, MCOG, da Sibibre, Chabibre, Mr. Richard Amankwah, da was Sibibre. Afi ya chef for any TF1 so Moshe YouTube, any Facebook, any Edinkra multimedia, Edinkra, baby biara Edinkra platform sunyana, yada munyana se. Se betna hanom na mo ama me Jumedi no na enwie peye nti da sida kese emamo nyame adom e channel pa de dachi hini show no ebeba so 10 a.m. to 12 noon se wo pe nkranhye se wo pa stress se wo pe Ghana newspaper review ana se bibi biara eye enika anopa 10 a.m. to 12 noon the dachi hini show na me kanfo de amount weekend so any politics ho a eno ane say obejoin MCOG or the political bench ni so edu Sunday so a eno so or the nkra showbiz no so e de bebre nyame adoma da se ne yebehia muso mfuti na Sarpong ni makra mo next week ye the Dr. Francisca Njoku na eba program ne so ye da mo ase bebre the Gawa Hour Jumedi no aha ene de besi bye bye.